Welcome, welcome, family, to another spiritual awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. You know what to do. Tag and share and tag and share and tag. Such a wonderful opportunity to see you yet again, connect with you in this way that we do often here on this wonderful platform. Come on in, make yourself at home because you are at home. I've got some wonderful things I want to share with you. I'm trying to text some folks while I'm looking down. And I hope that you're doing the same thing because we want to invite as many people as we can into this wonderful spiritual and digital assembly, this digital conclave tonight. What an awesome privilege it is to be on with you this grand evening or whatever time of day it is you're watching me in the world. I am so delighted and excited, honored and privileged as always. Come on, let's pray. Almighty, we're so thankful and grateful for this wonderful golden opportunity. Speak clearly to us as our hearts are open and ready to receive that which you would speak to us. Let this word reveal and then hear. And we bless you and praise you for the highest good is accomplished with us, in us, and through us in these now moments. Thank you, thank you. In Yeshua's name, power, and consciousness, it is so, and so it is. So glad to see you on today. Come on, let's tag and share and tag. Let's tag and share and tag. Let's bring some people into our gathering on tonight. Thank you for the likes and the hearts. We want to make sure that we keep those likes and hearts coming, allowing other people to join us in this wonderful space and span of time that we are allotted together at this particular moment. And it is a blessing for men and women, how pleasant it is for men and women to dwell together in unity. This is a moment of unity for us. It is a moment of unification. And I love that even in these moments of unification, we can do all kinds of things like establish clarification. We can unleash modification. We can experience elevation. We can experience rejuvenation. There are just so many things we can experience together in these dynamic spiritual moments. And again, thank you for tuning in on this particular night. I always like to remind you that you are made in the image and likeness, being the divine offspring of an all powerful, believed to be omnipotent being. And in him we live and move and have our being. You are a dynamic, kinetic, powerful spiritual species. And I want you to own it right now by typing in the comment section, whether on YouTube or Facebook. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Yes, that's it. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. What a beautiful thing it is to own the power and to know the power and to be the power. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section real quickly. I am powerful. While you're typing it, speak it. While you're typing it, declare it. While you're typing it, open your mouth and in a deep, profound way, utter it. Let the words roll off your tongue. I am powerful. Oh, what a wonderful thing it is to express the power and to know the power. What good would it do you or I to have $1 million but not know we have it, or to have $1 million and never use it? Therefore, you must express the power. You must declare the power. You must exercise the power. Now, to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly. It's above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing, by permission of the Almighty, to know that you're powerful and use the power for good. What a blessing, what an honor, and what a privilege it is to know that you are powerful. Bless you, and you for being on this particular night. In a few minutes, I'm going to do my midweek check in with you. I'm just going to cover a few announcements real quickly. I'd like to gently remind you that my latest book is out, Unshackling Your Mind, Discover and Overcome Limiting Beliefs. And as a matter of fact, I want you all to recognize you can go to payhip.com/AG Green now, or you could also visit divinespeciesshop.com. Divine Species Shop. There's two S's in a row at the end of species, and then the beginning of shop.com. Either website will take you to purchase this wonderful book with over $100 worth of free bonuses today. I got to keep reminding you until as many people as possible can get their hands on it, start reading it. It's going to change the complexion of your life. And I also like to remind you that the aggreennow.com website is up. If you haven't been there, I want you to go there. We try to add new things to it every week to the aggreennow.com website. And there are all kinds of wonderful things you can find on there, topical information, announcements. And we have also put up a new page this week, which I'm getting ready to discuss with you with the next announcement that is forthcoming. I'm trying to see if I have a banner already ready with that website. Look like I don't. theaggreennow.com. Discover how to join us on Patreon, how to give, and do all those other wonderful things. And last but not least, I want you to understand that the Divine You podcast is live. The first episode is up of the Divine You podcast. And what you're watching now is a screenshot of Spotify. This is a screenshot of Spotify. The first episode is already on Spotify. Now listen, if you don't have you can watch this, listen to this free on Spotify, but it's on Apple Podcasts, Deezer, and some other names I don't quite recognize. If you want to see it on Spotify, you can look it up on Spotify or go to the aggreennow.com website. And the last page is devoted to the Divine You podcast on the website. Just scroll down to the bottom, click on the link, and it'll take you to Spotify. And I'll have some other places listed next week where you can click on the podcast and listen to it. It's very short, starting out with under 30 minutes. And you want to catch this teaching that I'm doing. And I'll be expanding and building on new topics every week, and eventually bringing some guests in to discuss some wonderful things with me as well. All right. So make sure that you get a chance to listen to it. And I'd also love to have your feedback in terms of what you thought about the podcast. Don't forget to follow me on the various social media handles you see listed at the bottom of your screen. The various social media handles that you see listed at the bottom of your screen. Always at AG Green Now, no matter what social media platform, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook or YouTube at AG Green Now is how you can follow me. Like, hit the notification bell so you'll know that when we're streaming live or when we drop new videos as well. All right, family. So good to see you, and you here on this particular day. What a blessing, what an honor, what a privilege it is to be beaming into your home. And yes, I am powerful, Miss Charlotte. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening to you as well. Got to check in with my family. I got to check in with my family. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Some folk call this hump day. Just checking in on you. Some folks call this hump day, and even if you're watching this, in on demand, in replay, that's good. Want to know from your personal opinion how your week has been going thus far. Talk to me before I get into the teaching on tonight. Tell me how your week has been going thus far. I'm going to endeavor not to be too long tonight. Feeling a little tired and fatigued. These days seem to be getting a little bit longer, but nevertheless, I won't complain. So grateful to have many things to do, many productive things to do. So talk back to me. Tell me how you feeling. How you doing? I just kind of gave you an idea of where I am and how I'm feeling. I feel great otherwise. Feel encouraged, feel empowered. I sense some powerful things shifting and manifesting in my own personal life. And as I put up the screenshot of Spotify, where the Divine You podcast is, so on Apple, Deezer, and several other places, I intended to say, give me a few weeks. I've got to put some marketing behind it, and we're going to get more and more people across the globe introduced to the Divine You podcast. But yes, you can view it on Spotify for free. I'm not sure about Apple and other places, but make sure you pull up the podcast and listen to it. Right now, it's only in audio. In the upcoming months, I will release video as well. It just requires a little bit more effort in terms of editing, which really is time and energy. But we're working toward that. All right. Thank you, Hillary. Very good and productive. Days seem longer. I can bear witness with that. Thank you, Charlotte, for sharing with us that she says she's very well. Anybody else? How you doing? How you feeling tonight? How's your week been going thus far? How's your week been going thus far? How's your week been going thus far? Talk back to me. Talk back to me. Tell me how your week has been going thus far. I want to know. I'd be excited to know how your week is going thus far. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else want to share? Let's see. Krista says, tired week has been okay. Happy to be here tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Now, I want to inform my regular viewers, and we'll put something up on Saturday. We'll put something up on Saturday. I'm going to be streaming 30 minutes earlier this upcoming Sunday than normal. I normally come on at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. But this week I'll stream a little earlier. You all know that I have not been taking really in-person, in-church engagements on a consistent basis. I've been receiving and accepting them very sporadically. And I basically, by, I guess you could say, divine order, divine decree, um, reached out to someone that I dreamt about, the Spirit revealed some things about, and that pastor asked me, he's like a brother, to come and speak for him Sunday. Naturally, these days I hesitate. It's for me. It's not about anybody else. It's about me. It's about where I am on my journey. And I sensed the leading to receive a confirmation from the Spirit that I was to go. And it was congruent with the series of preceding events that led up to that point. And so it'll be here locally and where I'm visiting. And so I will be streaming 10 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. And we'll probably do like 45 minutes. And then I'll get off and I'll make my way over to the church, and whatever happens in terms of the leading of God. I'll put a link for that church's stream on our page in case you all want to jump on after we're done and join in with that particular broadcast as well. I'm going to be at Greater Glory here in Sykeston. Prophet Tim and Lady LaRonda Randall are the leaders of that church. And I sense it's a divine assignment. So I consented to do it. I consented to do it. So keep us in your prayers. So we'll be streaming at 10. So I want you to type it in the comment section. Type in the comment section. We're streaming at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Type that in the comment section. 10 a.m. CST. Type that in the comment section. We're streaming at 10 a.m. CST Sunday morning. 10 a.m. CST Sunday morning. Okay? So I want you to type that in the comment section. I want to make sure you're paying attention. 10 a.m. CST. That's Central Standard Time. Sunday morning. Okay? Okay, let's see here what we got here. All right, very good. Somebody else type it in for us. Somebody else type it in for us. Somebody else type it in for us. We're streaming at 10 a.m. CST Sunday morning. So make sure you spread the word. And there's a flyer that auto post. I think it's scheduled for this Saturday. And I'll definitely make sure we put the right time up on Saturday so that everybody will know that what time we are streaming. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'll be with Prophet Tim and Lady Randall. Like I said, it's a rare occurrence for me to accept any engagements like that these days. I'm just in a different season. And maybe that will change one day. All right. I want to make sure, let me ask, because I don't have her I don't have her digital information. Is Katrina Mays, are you still on? Katrina Mays, are you still on here? Real quickly, Katrina Mays. And then let me say something to everybody, and then I'm going to get into the teaching for tonight. Katrina, is she still on? I saw her log in on Facebook. I want to make sure she's still on. Just say yes if you're still on, Miss Katrina. All right? Just say yes if you're still on. And see if she's still on or not. All right. All right. So I've been talking to you. Okay. Yes. Your order is on the way. I don't know where you're located on Facebook. Well, I see your name now on Facebook. I'm sorry. Your package is on the way. You know what that is. I believe you're the one who ordered. Yes, your package is on the way. I believe it's for you. So I wanted to let you know that. Let me share this with everybody real quick before I get into some teaching tonight. Let me say, we leveled up last week. There was a leveling up. How many of y'all sensed the leveling up last week? How many of y'all sensed it? Matter of fact, it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Sunday? When did that happen? It might have been Sunday. I think that was Sunday when that happened. And we sensed the leveling up. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that who was on that particular day? We leveled up. We acknowledged that we leveled up. We felt that we leveled up. And there are some testimonies of money. Oh, you're Linda Nelson's daughter. Pleasure to meet you, Katrina. Thank you so much. Your mother is so sweet. And I really love and appreciate her and for her support. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you so much. We leveled up. Okay, I think it was Sunday too. And some of you got money. I've gotten at least 2 testimonies of unexpected money that some of y'all have experienced. And I haven't talked to everybody, but Things are happening in you. When we say in the spirit, I'm not just talking about a dimension outside of you. Understand that you, as a spiritual being, live inside the spiritual dimension. You are in the spiritual dimension right now. And yes, even though you're in the spiritual dimension, you're operating an avatar physical body in a physical construct. So I want you to understand that you leveled up. That's why the testimonies are starting to come in, a leveling up of finances. But there's some other things, and let me flow with the spirit here before I get into the teaching. There are some other things in you in this level up, this dimension that you leveled up to. The other things are coming into alignment with the level of the dimension that you're walking in. And remember this. Now, I sensed it and feel it. I sense and feel it while I'm talking to you. You don't have to sense and feel anything. You just have to know by faith. You just have to embrace it, watch this, and walk in it daily, saying to yourself, I have leveled up. So within a day or two, automatic deposits, the unexpected deposits, thousands of dollars in another case, and other testimonies are coming in. I want you to maintain, watch this, that dimension, maintain that frequency. Did you catch that? Maintain that frequency. Maintain that level of confidence that you have leveled up. I want you to hear me. So the testimonies are pouring in from people who sensed the leveled up from a few days ago. But that leveling up has not discontinued. It's continuing. And I'm saying to you right now, there are more things on the horizon for you because you have leveled up. I'm going to say it again. There are more things that are on the horizon for you because you have leveled up. So I want everybody to be encouraged. I want everybody to know and to embrace that what happened to you was a very and is a very real thing. And it is up to you to continue to walk by the faith you possess, in that you have been leveled up by God and leveled up in God, and continue to walk that course. Even now, I see by the Spirit that there's something that's going to happen to some people, even by Friday of this week. There are some shifts that are taking place, even by Friday of this particular week. There's some good news that's going to come by Friday or on Friday for somebody. It could be me. I just know I sense this for somebody who's watching me right now. And if you catch this in replay, then catch the word too. Embrace the word. Receive the word. Good news is coming. I want you to type in the comment section, good news is coming my way. Come on, type that in the comment section. Good news is coming my way. I sense this so strongly. And it doesn't have to be money related, but it's going to be. Why did I do that? Oh, I didn't intend to do that. That was some kind of automatic response. Maybe it is money for somebody. It doesn't have to be money, though. But good news is coming for somebody this week. And it's just the beginning. Week after week, make sure you inbox me or text me or give me your testimonies when they come in. Share them. People need to know that when these words are spoken, just like recently, us leveling up, that things are manifested on behalf of people, right? So I want you to be encouraged to know that you know that you know within yourself. That's right. Good news. Good news. Good news. My goodness. I dare you to say that for the next 3 or 4 days. I dare you to say that for the next 7 days. Good news is coming my way. Good news is coming my way. I dare you to say it for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Good news is coming my way. Now, quickly, let's look at a few. Let's look at a few texts for our consideration today. Let's look at a few texts for our consideration today, and I think I want to start. See what I want to start with. Let's go to quickly to Judges chapter 6, and I think we want verses 11 through 13. And when we leave Judges, we're going to go to First Kings chapter 19, verses 3 through 4. So we want Judges chapter 6, 11 through 13 to my assistance. And then we're going to First Kings chapter 19. Let's see, verses 3 through 4, real quickly. It's in line with what I'm discussing with you about limiting beliefs. And some of these things I'm discussing with you, of course, we are pulling directly out of the book. I want you to understand that, again, in the new year, if you're going to have a new year, you're going to have new thoughts. There must be new thinking to have a new year. I want you to type it in the comment section. There must be new thinking to have a new year. Type that in the comment section for me. There must be new thinking to have a new year. Again, the year can change numerically or chronologically, but that's all you'll experience. Because if you have the same old mindset, the same old paradigm, the same old faulty core beliefs in a year that has changed numerically, nothing has really changed for you reality wise. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Just because the new year changed numerically does not mean that reality has changed. I'm going to say it again. Just because the new year changed numerically does not mean reality has changed for you. I hope somebody caught that. Verse 11, real quickly, the angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak in Ophrah that belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. I've talked about this before. I did a series on the Gideon complex. We're not going deeply tonight in it, just want to real touch the surface. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with thee, mighty warrior." And then verse 13, "Pardon me, my Lord God," Gideon replied, "but if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about when they said, 'Did not the Lord bring us out of Egypt?' But now the Lord has abandoned us and given us into the hand of Midian." Okay, this is what I just said. There must be a new thinking to have a new year. Let's look at the King James real quickly. You see what the King James says. "And there came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor." And then we see Gideon's response in verse 13. This is a man who's struggling with limiting beliefs. This is a man who's been conditioned to live defeat. This is a man whose psychological construct is filled with defeated energy, filled with negative energy, filled with negative thoughts. Again, filled with not only defeating, but self-defeating thoughts. He was given a compliment by the angel of the Lord, believed to be the pre incarnate Christ by some theologians. But he could not accept the compliment because his self concept was marred, his self image was marred, his self worth was marred. Same today. If you're having a problem accepting compliments, it's most likely because there's something in you that doesn't feel worthy of the compliment. And something has happened to you in your life to cause you to interpret your life as you are not worth that much. You are not of great value, where you feel limited, small, insignificant, and insecure. I want to share with you a couple of common negative core beliefs. These negative core beliefs are limiting beliefs. So I want you to type it in the comment section. Negative core beliefs are limiting beliefs. Type that in the comment section. Negative core beliefs are limiting beliefs. Please type that in the comment section for us. Negative core beliefs are limiting beliefs. So, as I have shared with you before, God had to do a psychological intrinsic work on Gideon to shift his mindset from this low self-esteem, this low evaluation of himself. He had to convince him that he was with that God had to convince him that he himself, the Almighty, the Creator, was with him. But he also had to convince Gideon that he was worthy of the call and could actually fulfill it. All right. Negative core beliefs are limiting beliefs. Let me give you a few. Here's a negative core belief that says, I am a bad person. That's a limiting belief. Here's another one. I am unlovable. Wow. Let me tell you, when you feel unlovable, love can be all around you and you will not absorb it. Love can be in your face and you will have a difficult time accepting it. All because you feel unlovable. Some folks, here's another limiting belief. I deserve to be unhappy. Do you realize there are people in this world who honestly believe they deserve to be unhappy? So they live a life that's subpar, marginalized, or sometimes they do have good things going on, but they can't really enjoy it because in their minds, for whatever reason, sometimes people think they've done bad things or they've hurt people or they just feel like because of the way they've been treated by others that they're not of great value. And so, good things, they don't deserve good things to come their way. However, they came to this conclusion they did. Here's another one. I can't do anything right. Oh my goodness. Tell me right quick, have you heard any of these that I've said so far? I'm curious. Have you heard any of these thus far that I've said? I got a ways to go. Have you heard any of these thus far that I said? Any of these limiting beliefs? Some of you all probably said them yourself, some of these yourself. Here's another one. There is something wrong with me. Wow. That's a limiting belief. When you think, for whatever reason, no matter what success you have, or watch this, even because of some failures that you've had, that there's something wrong with me, and this is your consistent thought process and your consistent response, regardless of what you're experiencing, that is a limiting belief. Now, hear me, family. I'm not saying that in all cases there isn't something that needs to be corrected. That's not what I'm saying. If that is the predominant theme of your life, there's something wrong with me. I want you to understand that that belief system is going to manifest in your three-dimensional experience and reflect back to you as if you are the problem all the time. And it's not the case. Here's another one. I don't do anything but make mistakes. Wow. Here's another negative core belief that is a limiting belief. I am a failure. Wow. Here's another one. I am always such an idiot. Some of y'all don't say I'm such an idiot. Some of y'all just call yourself stupid. I've done that before. I started calling myself stupid years ago. It's self-deprecating. It's self-devaluing. It's all of those hideous, egregious things that you're doing to compress, depress your own self, press your own self down. That's a limiting belief. I'm always such an idiot or I'm stupid. Like when you make a mistake, I'm just stupid, just stupid. Listen, that's a limiting belief. Now you're limiting your intelligence in that moment. Here's another one that's big. I am a mistake. Wow. Do you know how many people struggle? Even those people who have relationships with God and say they love God. Do you know how many people struggle with how they came into the world? Sometimes people found out, children that found out their parents wanted to abort them or their parents did not want them, or life has gone a certain way in terms of pain and suffering, and they feel like they should not have been born. Mm. Here's another one. I will never be happy. That's another limiting belief. There are people in this world right now who believe that as long as they live, they'll never be happy. And as a result, they're really saying, I don't deserve to be happy. So what they're doing is, again, by their limiting beliefs, they are limiting their experiences to those in the category of never being happy. Here's another one. I can't get better. It's a negative core belief that is a limiting belief. Here's another one. I'm unworthy of being loved. Ooh, wow. Wow. People who believe they're unworthy of being loved, once again, even if they desire love, they will repel it. Even if they desire love, they will abuse it when it shows up. Even when they desire love, they will run it off because they have defined themselves as being unworthy of being loved. Here's another one. I am not important. I mean, we've all probably felt like this before. It is a limiting belief. You're supposed to be fearfully and wonderfully made. You're supposed to be made in the image of your creator. You are relevant. You are important. Here's another one. Things will never get better for me. Oh my goodness, that's another one. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. But we got people who honestly believe they have given up. They don't expect things to get better for them. Here's another one. I am not good enough. My goodness. Let me say this. Even if you don't feel like you're on the level of something, just don't say you're not good enough. You at the core of your being are a spirit. You at the core of your being are powerful. You in your relationship you have with God, the divine, the almighty, you are great. So even if you don't feel like you measure up to a task, an assignment, a job, a relationship, or whatever, don't say I'm not good enough. But people say this. Here's another negative core belief that's a limiting belief. I am always right. Ooh, that's a terrible one. That's a negative core limiting belief. That means the times you're wrong, you think you're right. Here's another one. I must succeed at all costs. That's a negative core belief because what it's basically saying is I am validating and defining myself by whether I succeed or not. So, in the very moment that that person does not succeed, having given all their energy to succeed, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be a huge emotional crash. They're going to plummet. There's going to be a huge letdown, like jumping off a cliff, because they have imposed a belief on themselves to define themselves by success, meaning that if I'm not successful, I'm not anybody. Here's another one. I am powerless. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Am I only are these is it barking up anybody's tree? Has anybody heard this? I got two more I think to give you. Has anybody ever heard these? Have anybody ever said any of these things to themselves? Here's another two more. I am broken. I deserve rejection. I am broken. I deserve rejection. These are just examples. These are just examples of limiting beliefs. I want you to understand, and I kind of touched on this last week. Limiting beliefs create resistance. Type that in the comment section. Limiting beliefs create resistance. Just as we see Gideon in this text, resisting a divine word, resisting a compliment, resisting powerful words that were spoken into his life and over his life. He was resisting it because he believed he could not be it. He believed he was not it. Therefore, now he is putting up resistance to the truth of who and what he really is. I'm reading this definition of resistance from my book, Unshackling Your Mind, Discovering and Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. It's the mental, emotional, or behavioral obstacles that hinder one's ability to align with their desired goals and obstacles. It often manifests as self-doubt, fear, negative self-talk, the things we say to ourselves, and internal conflicts, which act as barriers to achieving personal growth and manifesting a better reality. Wow. I want you to type this in the comment section. Limiting beliefs are my worst enemy. Type that in the comment section. Limiting beliefs are my worst enemy. One of the notable experiences, or I should say examples of this in scripture, is when Israel comes back, those 12 spies from spying out the land, that the book said, God said, I've already given you this land. He told Moses and Joshua the land was theirs. They came back and said, y'all know the story. We're like grasshoppers in our eyes and in their eyes. It's a limiting belief. I use that illustration because your limiting beliefs, believe it or not, can prevent God. It can prevent the divine. It can prevent supernatural power from working on your behalf. It can prevent you as a powerful spiritual being from acting in the power that is available to you, all because you do not believe. I wish I was getting some likes and hearts right now on Facebook and a few on YouTube. Do you understand what I'm saying? Talk back to me real quickly. Do you understand what I'm saying? One of the things I want you to understand is, and we talk about the imagination, faith lives in the imagination and faith creates from the imagination. And if you see yourself as not, then you won't be. If you see yourself as defeated, you're going to experience a lot of defeat. If you keep saying in advance what won't happen, keep saying that with some conviction, and guess what? It's not going to happen. That is a limiting belief. So I use that illustration because, again, religious folk are taught to put everything on God. When both testaments talk to us about faith, both testaments talk to us about the necessity of walking by faith and not by sight. Both texts model before us the power of what happens when faith is expressed, when faith is utilized. But yet people think that somehow, some way, the Almighty is supposed to do everything. The Almighty is not supposed to do everything. It is according to what Yeshua said, your faith, so be it unto you. So when we don't have it, we're limiting ourselves, we're limiting the God that we are in partnership with. Wow, I felt that. I felt that. I felt that. And it dominates our thinking cycle to the extent, as I said, that we will self-doubt, fear will thrive in us. Fear will thrive in us. The negative things we say to ourselves will thrive in us. And we'll have these internal conflicts between faith and unbelief, between believing and doubt, between I can and I can't, between it's going to happen and it's not going to happen, between I believe I can continue to hold on to I can't hold on. These are part of the internal conflicts. And again, it's going to create barriers. Walls are going to be erected by us. I want you to hear me real clearly. I'm going to say it again. Walls are going to be erected and built by us. Real quickly. That negative self-talk is internal dialogue that is critical or pessimistic, can reinforce limiting beliefs. Phrases like I can't, I'm not good enough, or it's impossible can undermine efforts to manifest desired outcomes. Now, let me say this. Some of y'all know I was raised around people, some who went on to become professional athletes. And so when I hear professional athletes say that they are the best in the world, and it sounds like they're coming across as arrogant and cocky. Don't get me wrong, I'm the person who loves humility, but I understand that talk. You know why I understand that talk? Because any competitor knows that if you don't think you can win, or if you don't even think you have a chance to win before the competition starts, you're going to most likely lose. You've got to have faith in your abilities, see it before you see it, to know in your heart of hearts when you line up, when the whistle is blown or whatever is the case, that you are the winner. You've got to believe, family, that you are the winner. So if you continue to tell yourself you are the loser, well, don't be surprised when things don't seem to go your way, because you have determined in advance that you are the loser. Am I making any sense to anybody? Let's get into conditioned beliefs. I want you to type it in the comment section, 2 words, conditioned beliefs. Conditioned beliefs. Conditioned beliefs. Conditioned beliefs, and I'm reading from my book, Unshackling Your Mind, Discovering and Overcoming Limiting Beliefs, are long-standing beliefs ingrained through upbringing, that's the way we're raised, culture, or past experiences can create resistance. These conditioned beliefs can be so deeply embedded that they feel like undeniable truths, even when they are limiting. Woo. Let me say this to you. Part of the struggle of dealing with these limiting beliefs is how real they feel to us, family. In the moment, sometimes we really feel like it's hopeless. In the moment, we really feel like something won't happen. In the moment, we really feel like the truth in terms of our analysis in that present, situation is final. And the truth of the matter is that it will be final because you believe it's final, because you accepted the truth that it was final. Gideon could have never become the man he became had he not had an encounter or an intervention by a divine being to tell him, you're better than this, you're greater than this, because he would have continued to operate with the mindset and the mantra that he was living under: fear, unbelief, distant from his God, a part of a lot of people who worship all kinds of other entities and beings. I want you to hear what I'm saying today. It feels like it's the truth. It feels like you're not worthy. It feels like nobody will love you. It feels like you always going to struggle. It feels like things are stacked up again. It feels in that moment like it's so true, because to you it is your truth, it is your reality, but it's not God's reality. It's not the universe's reality for you. It's only the reality you have subjectively accepted. And you keep spitting this out, uttering and spewing and creating it over and over and over in your life. Hallelujah. I hope somebody's hearing the Spirit speak to you on today. Limiting beliefs. Some of this stuff is cultural. It comes from culture, which is what part of the definition said. I want you to type it in the comment section. Some of our limiting beliefs are from culture. Type that in the comment section. Some of our limiting beliefs are from culture. They are from culture. This is what I say to people today. This is what I say to people today. I always encourage people, when I say critical, when I say think critically, I'm not talking about being a critic. I'm talking about critiquing, using intellect to examine certain situations and circumstances. There are certain cultures that breed into their offspring certain beliefs that folk are holding on to for dear life, and honestly think it's God, and honestly think it's the gospel truth. I need you to hear what I'm saying right now. And as a result of that, if you're not careful, you will not step into certain roles because somebody raised you, or some group you're a part of raised you to believe that if you step out that role, you're stepping into something that's evil or not good. And this could be based on your gender, whether you're male or female. It could be based on your color. It could be based on your career choices. It could be based on what you think and how you see things. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying today. Now, can I be real with y'all for a second? Can I really be real with y'all? I mean, I try and be real every second, but you know, it's a figure of speech. Can I be real with y'all for a minute? Let me see a yes or a no. Can I be real with y'all for a minute? This is what it means to think critically. This is what it means to think critically. Okay. Does anybody in here know what a patriarchal system is? We're talking about culture now. We're talking about culture now. We're talking about people defining themselves by culture. Does anybody in here know what a patriarchal system is? You can Google it if you need to. What's a patriarchal system? Talk to me real quickly. What's a patriarchal system? What's a patriarchal system? Talk to me. And we're going to explore more thinking like this in depth on Patreon chat. But quickly, anybody know what a patriarchal system is? Hillary says runs to Google. Yes, run to Google. I want somebody to give me the answer real quickly. Anybody want to tell me what a patriarchal system is? I'm just giving you something to think about. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving you something to think about. Let me see. Whoever ran to Google, let me see if they're going to copy and paste it real quickly in the comment section. Before I give the definition, I'm going to give a very short definition of what it is. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Thank you. A society in which men have authority over women in all aspects, from politics to morals to economics, and even the actions of women. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about with culture. So I want you to think critically and analytically now. If scriptures were formed in a patriarchal society where the men have all the rights and the women have very, very little rights, do you realize even in the Old Testament, and there's a lot of preachers trying to explain this away, but I love when the scholars do videos and pull up all the text to show you that there are places in the text where in war, rape was allowed and women were treated like property. Women were no more, in many respects, than property. No wonder they got problems with women preaching. No wonder they don't want women as a pastor. The soil of this text is formed deeply within a prevailing, pervasive patriarchal system. We should not be arguing in religion about what women can and cannot do. But let me tell you why. Because religion was formed by people who had a prejudice against women. I did my research. From ancient times all the way up to the Greeks. Do you realize that many of the Greeks, some of the ones we read about in history, didn't even like women? They preferred men. So I'm saying to you today, there are certain things that feels like it's the truth. Thank you for the likes and hearts. But you don't understand how it's been influenced by culture. So this culture has seeped in. Somebody you were born in this culture. Before you know it, you are living this part of the culture out like it is God's truth, when it's not really God's truth, it's man's truth. And you will limit yourself because of what the culture says you can or cannot do. Well, as y'all say, welp. I said that thing. Let me finish up. Let me finish up. Let me finish up so I can rest up a little bit. Let me finish up so I can rest up a little bit. So I want you to understand that you will face resistance when you have limiting beliefs. I want to share a few examples right quick of people who overcame limiting beliefs. I never had heard of this woman, Bridget Mason, aka Biddy. And I'm reading this from blackgirladventures.org. She was a black woman slave who became one of the richest women in Los Angeles. She was a real estate mogul and midwife. She later gained her freedom thanks to the help of her white son-in-law, Charles Owens. Bridget birthed 3 daughters by her slave master. Did you hear this? 3 daughters by her slave master, Robert Smith. After converting to Mormonism, Smith and his wife moved to Utah in a wagon, forcing Bridget to follow on foot. He made her walk all the way to Utah. A church leader attempted to convince Smith to free his slaves, but Smith was unwilling. The church leader did persuade Smith to move to California. Smith was unaware he had entered the Union as a free state. Bridget Mason became a free woman. This woman who had 3 children by this white man became a free woman. She eventually saved enough money to purchase 2 estates, making her one of the first black women to own property in Los Angeles. Over several years, Mason bought and managed more property. She leased some out commercially and sold portions of it. She was in the real estate. As Los Angeles grew, so did the value of her real estate. In 1872, She financed the city's first Black church. Soon, Mason was known by every citizen as Aunt Biddy. She was quickly beloved in the untouched town of Los Angeles, which numbered only 2,000 or so residents. Less than 20 of them were Black. Did you hear this? Less than 20 of the 2,000 were Black. What is that? 1%. The Los Angeles Times wrote she was a frequent visitor to the jail, speaking a word of cheer and leaving some token and a prayer for hope with every prisoner. In the slums of the city, she was known as Grandma Mason and did much active service toward uplifting the worst element in Los Angeles. She paid taxes and all expenses on church property to hold it for people. During the flood of the early 80s, she gave an open order to a little grocery store, which was located on 4th and Spring Streets. By the terms of this order, all families made homeless by the flood were to be supplied with groceries, while Biddy Mason cheerfully paid the bill. By the late 1800s, Mason, this same woman who was a slave and had 3 children by her slave owner, had acquired a fortune of $300,000, worth approximately $6 million today, making her the wealthiest Black woman in the city. Hear what I'm saying today. Why did I use this woman as an example? Because she defied limiting beliefs in the 1800s. And I got to ask you, and the slavery was a part of the culture. Black people were subjugated as a part of the culture. That's right. This is your Black History Moment in Black History Month. I got to ask you, what's our problem? What's our problem? Ain't nobody hanging us today. Are you hearing me? This woman was a slave who was forced to have sex with a man she most likely didn't want to have sex with, had children with him. Are you hearing me? It didn't stop her from becoming a real estate mogul. It didn't stop her from becoming a philanthropist. The culture said one thing, but her heart said another. The culture said one thing, but her faith said another. My goodness, I hope somebody's hearing me today. You have the power, like this great woman did, to overcome limiting beliefs. And I'm saying to you, if you have limiting beliefs, you're in good company. What does John F. Kennedy Jr., y'all know who he was, President, John Steinbeck, who's an American author, who wrote a wonderful book called The Grapes of Wrath. He won a Pulitzer Prize for it in 1962. What does he have in common with Michelangelo? What does he have in common with George Washington? What does he have in common again with John F. Kennedy? What does he have in common with George Eliot, another famous writer? Do they have in common with Abraham Lincoln? What do they all have in common with Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Tell me if I ever did a thing"? He was depressed about his work. This is the man who painted the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. What did they all have in common? They had limiting beliefs in themselves. They were depressed. They were discouraged. They felt like failures. Some of them are on record feeling like they felt like imposters. Hallelujah. But they rose to the occasion. They were inspired by something. God inspires Gideon in the text we looked at today. I hope that I'm here to inspire you. And I hope that God, the divine, the almighty, sends other people in your life to inspire you as well, to motivate you, to encourage you, to empower you, to bypass those limiting beliefs and recognize that there's greatness in you. I got to ask you a question. This is my last question, and I'm going to be done. I got to ask you a question. Have you recognized patterns and triggers in your life? I'm asking you a question. Have you recognized patterns and triggers in your life? Talk back to me, yes or no. Have you recognized patterns and triggers in your life? The pattern of your thinking, the pattern of your behavior. What takes you off the rails? What takes you down into the valley? Or what takes you into the mountain? Talk back to me. Have you recognized a thinking pattern? Have you recognized things that can trigger you? Have you recognized what brings all these limiting beliefs up? Because limiting beliefs often follow patterns and they're triggered by specific situations. Let me see what the answers are in the comment section. Have you recognized them? Yes. Yes, sir. Very good. The first step to dealing, one of the steps, excuse me, in dealing with this is to recognize these triggers and these patterns. So when you find yourself in a situation and you start thinking negatively, or you start reflecting back on bad situations that were similar to this one, or sometimes you're pulling a rabbit out of a hat, you're trying to compare apples to oranges, but you just know in that moment you feel bad because you're in a situation where you feel pressure, you feel rejection, you feel unloved, you feel unworthy, you feel like a failure, you feel like you can't do, you feel like you can't accomplish, you feel like people don't care about you. What is the pattern that triggered you? And last but not least, after you identify that pattern, understand the power of awareness is the first step to change. Becoming aware of your limiting beliefs, you can begin to question and challenge them. Awareness allows you to see the connection between your thoughts, feelings, and actions, empowering you to make conscious choices. Nathaniel Brandon says the first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. And as we conclude tonight, God Almighty, He patronized Gideon family by giving him signs. Gideon asked for signs. You know why? Number one, I need a sign that God is talking to me. Number two, I need a sign that I'm really called to do this. God needed to develop his awareness. So God developed his awareness. Once his mindset changed, he gave him an assignment. The first assignment was go and tear your father's idols down. He completed that assignment. That gave him confidence. I want to say to you, after you become aware of the triggers and the patterns, that's a huge, huge step to accept what it is and start making a decision, a conscious decision then that I'm going to counteract that in the moment. What makes you feel like a little child? What makes you feel like running in a corner and hiding? What in the moment is going through your mind, or what is moving through your central nervous system? What is moving in the realm of your emotions to make you feel the way you're feeling that you know is not the way you should be feeling in that moment? That's going to cause you to blurt out something that is a limiting belief that you're going to speak into the atmosphere that's going to come back to you in a way you don't want it to come back to you. What makes that happen in you? What triggers that to happen in you? Once you're aware of that and you accept it, type this in the comment section. I must be able to accept the lovely and unlovely things about myself. Type that in the comment section. I must be able to accept the lovely and unlovely things about myself. Now, notice this as I close. When I say the unlovely things, I don't mean justify them. I don't mean put yourself down because it's unlovely. Just say it's something I'm working on. It's something I got to change. It's a work in progress for me. I see it. I recognize it. I felt it. It's been brought to my attention before, and in my private time, God revealed it to me. My spirit self revealed it to me, and I'm working on it. Yes, that's what I mean by that. There are things about all of us that we need to work on. and that we need to change. But you can't change it if you don't accept it. You can't be aware of it if you don't acknowledge it. You will never get better. You'll never improve if you're unwilling to just be honest that it is a challenge for you, that it is something that disrupts your life, that is something that takes you out of character, that is something that tries to pull you back to a lower frequency, a lower vibration, and a lower state of who you really are. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. And if you can acknowledge that, family, you're on the road to conquering that limiting belief. Wow. Y'all some awesome people. How y'all doing? Did you enjoy the teaching tonight? I got to get up off here. Don't forget, we'll be on 30 minutes earlier on Sunday morning. 30 minutes earlier, as I explain why. But how y'all doing? Any questions or comments about the teaching tonight? Any questions or comments? I'll take a question right quick if you have any. I'll take some questions if you have any. Any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any comments? I appreciate y'all tonight. Here's the giving opportunities that's on the screen for those who want to donate and give. I love y'all. Y'all some good people. You're some loving people. And I know when you can, you always think about me. And I appreciate you. No questions? There are no bad questions here. Any about limiting beliefs, any challenges you might be having? You sure about that? I appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. So we'll be on at 10 a.m. CST Sunday morning, 30 minutes earlier this coming Sunday. Want you to join us. We're expecting to continue to go to the next level. Did I start a series last Sunday? I think I did start another series last Sunday. I'll be doing so many things. Thank you all for your compliments tonight. I appreciate you. All right. And again, there's the Cash App if you want to give, PayPal. And don't forget to check out theaggreen.com. And don't forget, the new website is up. And also remember that the new podcast has already dropped. This is the screenshot from Spotify. And I'm going to take, again, the donations that you all give, and I'm going to invest it in marketing. We should have a few thousand people who have downloaded it by the end of the month. You have to market these things, especially when you don't have a household name. And so, but I want as many of you all that can. If you don't know where to find it, just go to theaggreen.com. You can find it there on the Divine You page. That's the last page on the website now. And by the second episode, I will have more links for more places that you can see the podcast, listen to the podcast, because right now it's audio. And in the upcoming months, I will eventually add video, and then that will be streaming to YouTube only. The videos will be streaming to YouTube only. All right. So thank y'all so much for your support. Spread the word. Let people know the Divine You podcast is up. And I always appreciate y'all love and y'all support. Again, thank you for your prayers. And I'm going to see many of you all in a couple of days. And don't forget, we leveled up. Maintain that leveled up status. Don't go down for nobody. Don't allow nobody to convince you to step away or to step down or step backwards. You have gone up another level. No how, no way are you going to reverse course and reverse decision. All right? Testimonies are already flooding in. And if yours haven't started, they will start. You're going to have a testimony too of the wonderful things, favor, opportunities, feeling closer to God, all these other things that you so desire because you have leveled up. Wow, so awesome, so awesome, so awesome, so awesome, so awesome. All right, I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. I want you to enjoy your night. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. I'll see many of you all in a couple of days. Enjoy your week. The Divine You podcast, Linda. Divine You, the Divine You. And put it up because she's asking about it. See us on the screen right there. The Divine You. It is on Apple. I have not been able to find it on Apple, but it is connected to Apple, several different podcast sources. I had to find it there, but I was able to find it on Spotify. All right. See y'all soon. Have a great evening. Take care.